All right, all right, all right. So we'll start with chart. We'll start with chart markup. We'll start with chart markup. Now, the primary thing in chart markup that I would say is reading the trend of the market, knowing the trend of the market. Personally, I have to chart up my HFX trading on the 5 minutes with reference to others. I will get there later. With reference to others. Do you understand? With reference to others, to other time frame, multi-time frame analysis is basically the secret. Now, who can tell me, this one is too glaring. This is too glaring. No, let me go to another. Who can tell me the trend we have in this Euro USD right now? With what you are seeing on my screen right now, what's the trend of the market? Okay, let me remove it. With what you are seeing in this market now, who can tell me the trend of this market? This is not a starter class. So I'm not going to go back to trend, that to no trend. No, I'm not going to go to. With this trend I'm seeing in the market now, who can tell me the trend of this market? Okay, uptrend, downtrend, okay. Consolidation, okay. Only 3 people have answered new. We have about 40-something people on this call, I believe. Consolidation, okay. Down. Just write your opinion. You don't have to be right. Ranging, okay. Ranging is also consolidation, okay. You don't have to be right. Just say what you think you can see. What can you see? Now, primarily, this market is in consolidation. This is the 1 hour chart. I'll go to the 15 minutes. You can see it's in consolidation. It has not passed. This is Euro USD. It has not passed the particular. I'm looking for my rectangle, sorry. Okay, don't worry, guys. Don't worry. So basically, it has not passed beyond 2 points. It has been consolidating. There's no clear trend right here, right now. When the market is consolidating, does not mean there will not be a trend. Does not mean the market cannot move straight up like this. It has to still go up a little, come back down, straight up a little, and come back down. But can you compare this now to this? What trend is this? This is the JPY now. What trend is this, everyone? What trend is this? Somebody say no sound again. Can you hear me? Okay, I believe you can. This is clearly an uptrend. This is an uptrending market. Clearly an uptrend. Now, personally, when I want to start to chart, the market, I like to start from the daily. Why do I like to start from the daily? Now, I chart from the daily because the daily tells me, you know, sometimes you can see the market going uptrend, 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 and all of a sudden, you just see a massive drop, right? Like, but euro is stronger than USD. So USD is stronger than JPY. So why is it falling? Why is it falling? Why is it falling? Now, my own personal way of doing that is by coming to the daily chart and reading what the chart is doing. Now, this is clearly an uptrend of the daily. I don't expect this uptrend to continue forever. Now, what do? I try to find a place where that uptrend might stop on the daily. Right now, because of how this market has been going, it has been breaking all the highs. Yeah, you can even see one place. It has been breaking all the highs, right? So what do? I'm coming. This is the daily chart. What do? Guys, look at this market right now. Look at this market, right? If I am to expect this market to retrace, what do? Look at this. Sorry, darling, I'm not shouting, I'm talking. Now, look at this place. Okay, let me go to the weekly so that the chart can be smaller. Let me go to the weekly. It's good instead of, okay. Okay, right. It's the same thing that I've seen on the daily anyway. But let me go to the, I wanted everybody to see clearly. What I will do is that you can see this is a weekly resistance, weekly support right here, right? Right here. Can everybody see that? Right here. There's a weekly support right here. Right? If you go to the daily, you see it too. I just came to the weekly so that we can see it clearly. If you go to the daily, you can see it at the weekly support right here. Right? What I do personally is that I come to my daily chart and I mark up where I feel the market might probably retract. Now, what I do is I mark it where I have colors that I like to. So I just mark that one with red. right? Now, aside this point, there's also another point up here. So what I'll do is I'll mark those 2 points with red, and I will also look for where the market might retrace to. You get, in this case, it's very low actually. This place is very low actually. Now, you would have heard some indicators. Some people say you mark the daily candle. That's a beautiful thing to do too. And just like I told you earlier, it is just my way of doing things, right? It's just my own way of doing it. It doesn't make whoever I told you to mark the daily candle up wrong. All right. Now, this is just like a guide to me. These are not entries for the market. Okay, now let me go back. Let me go back and start something. Let me go back and show you guys something first. Let me go back. As if I jump. Now everybody knows that the market moves in waves, right? Okay, I think everybody should understand this better. Everybody knows that the market. Okay, no, let me not use this. Everybody knows that the market moves in waves, right? Right. So if you say the market moves in waves, it means for an uptrend, the market goes like this, comes back down, continues back up, comes back down, continues back up, comes back down, continues back up. Do you understand that? Now, how do we mark up? The way you mark up is, don't complicate things for yourself, right? Don't complicate things for yourself. What you need to do is to mark up these points where the market is breaking and retesting. What you need to do is to mark up these points. If it's an uptrend, you expect that once the market is here, right, and it comes down and it breaks this high, it's going to go up, then come back to this high for continuation. This is basically what the market does. This is basically what the market does. There is no other way to it. This is just what the market does. If it's going to continue, it's going to go up, then come back and retest this point and continue up, right? This is basically what the market does. And that is what I'm using to mark up that point. If somebody is asking, how did you get that point? Okay, let me delete it. Somebody is asking, how did you get that? My sub expired. Somebody is asking, how did you get that point? And I'm going to go back to it again. All right. Now, I'm going to use what we just said now to explain. All right, to do what I just did here. What has been happening? The market has been going like this. This is the market. This is just the same wave we just drew now. Went up, came back, went back up, came up, went all the way back up. So what are we expecting? This is the last high, right? This is the daily chart. I'm just using as a general example. This is the last high. So if this market is to retrace, expect a retracement, you expect a possible retracement down to this last high. This is daily. This might be quite far away. Down to this last high, but eventually this market will still retrace down here. It might take, USD is really strong right now, maybe because of the war or something. USD is really strong right now. That's why USD is gaining a ton of strength, right? You can see it's going to go back up here again at some point. This is basically how the market moves, right? This is basically how the market moves. Now, what did I do? For my HFX charting, what I do is that I come to my daily chart, like I was saying. I just went back so that people can understand why I picked it. And I know this market is in an uptrend, right? But I expect that somewhere, I'm trying to find a point where it might probably reject that uptrend on the daily, right? So what do? I go back. The secret of the chart is always to the left. I look to the left. I can't find anything in this place. It has already broken all of this. So this is the place in my posit. Now, this place I'm marking is a zone. It doesn't have to be a particular entry. It's just a zone. Now, what does this zone tells me? It tells me that when the market gets around this point, I'll be a little bit more careful of continuing that buy. That's just why I put this line there. It doesn't mean the market will not continue up. It doesn't mean the market cannot continue up. I just put it there as a warning to myself that, okay, the market is free. All of this place, the market was, if this market had not gotten up here, this is the first place I would have marked up, right? Did the market break the point? Yes, it broke. This is the first place I would have marked up. The market break it? Yes, it broke it. right? All of this tells you that the market still has chances of retracing down. It might not go as low as we marked up the other time, of retracing down here and continue back up. But I just need these lines to guide me, right? I just need these lines to guide me, to give me a guide of, okay, the market is at a possible daily resistance now, because the higher the time frame, the stronger the resistance, right? This is a possible daily resistance now. So it's very highly possible that this market starts to retrace from here, right? It's just to give me a guide. Now, after that, what I do from here is that, personally, I don't do the 15 minutes. I just go to my 5 minutes, right? Why is my chart doing like this tonight? Okay, I think I know. Personally, I just go to my 5 minutes. Now, I can see the market is clearly in an uptrend, right? This is my opinion. Don't quote me that I'm not as good as any of our indicators we have in IM. I'm still learning from them, right? So don't quote me by saying, but somebody said we should mark 1 hour and 15 minutes. Mark 1 hour and 15 minutes, if that's what you learn to do. I'm teaching you what I do, right? Now, you can see, you can see we brought this line from the daily. You can see we brought this line from the daily. Did this market reject around that point or not? I have not even checked the 5 minutes, I just marked up the daily. Did this market start to reject around that point or not? Now, assuming you have been buying, and you are like, okay, this market has broken, it's going to retest. It's going to retest really, but this is giving you a warning sign that this is a possible resistance. Personally, before we continue taking this buy, what I will do is that maybe I'm moving too fast, right? So just listen, and this call is recorded, so you can always access it. All right. So anything you miss, just go back to the video and watch again. Now, what I mark up at this point, that I've known this market is clearly in an uptrend, right? It's clearly in an uptrend. Now, what do I do? If we are to mark up this chart, what do we see? One of the things that give us problem is that we try to create entries where there are no entries. Okay, we try to create entries where there are no entries, right? We try to create entries where there is no entry. Personally, if I'm to take this market for a buy, for a continuation of an uptrend, for 2 reasons, because I've seen this daily resistance here, right? This daily resistance has warned me that there might be a huge retracement from up here. Now, what I personally do is that the first place I want to take a trade on this chart, the first place I would like to take a trade is probably around here. Around there, I like to mark it white, around there. Why will I pick around there? Because this is the last zone the market played around. Some of you would have seen me set entries, and you're like, it's too far away. But when the entries get there, they have a higher probability of clearing. Now, be conscious of the fact that only chart markup cannot make you win a trade. Only chart markup cannot make you win a trade. Only chart markup cannot make you win a trade. You must have a strategy. Now, I've heard a lot of people say, must I trade indicators with HFX? Particularly if you want to trade HFX, trust me, you need indicators. Why did I say so? Because it is a time-based trading, right? You may know that where the JPY will sell, but you need your indicators to tell you the exact time it will sell, the exact moment you should expect that sell. That's why you need indicators for HFX. And the academy has been so wonderful to give you these indicators packaged in different strategies. Do you understand? Don't say because I know how to mark up the chart, automatically where the JPY buy 982 is confirmed. No. Do you know there may be under entries up here? Now, this is the first place I would take. Now, what I would probably do again is to pick an entry up here. You can see this week. See this week that formed here on this point and this other red candle. Because of this resistance, I'll mark it up here. Now, if you are somebody that's willing to learn, you need to be on Dr. Josh Lee and Brandon Boyd's session. Those people don't call trades. I know a lot of people just want to be on session where they call trade. Those people don't call trade, but you see their go live, it's a gold mine. Their go live is a gold mine. You need to be there. Don't miss it every day. Go and bury your head in their favorite session. Dr. Josh Lee and Brandon Boyd, they don't call trade though. They just come on to teach. And trust me, teaching is better than calling trading. Sincerely, teaching is better than just joining. If we're trading, I'm sure we have more than 100. People will be saying it's full, it's full, it's full. We're on a training now. We have just less than 100 people on this call. That shows you how much people want knowledge. People just want quick money. Yeah. Now, this is the place I've marked up, right? You can see my 2 entries right now, right? I might want to go a bit lower and put an entry at this support. Right? You can see, don't complicate things for yourself. Personally, I used to say that you should not have more than four lines on your chart. Once you have more than 4 lines marked up, you have complicated it. So you say, if you are picking one, there's another one here, bam. There's another one here. There's another one. See this support, bam. There's another one here. See this week rejected here, bam. There's another one. See. Let me look for another one. Let me look for see this week here, bam. Are you not confused? Look at it. Are you not confused like this? Sincerely, are you not confused like this? Now, don't complicate it for yourself, right? Don't complicate it for yourself. Pick the pivot point, the major point where you saw the market react. The major places where you see the market react. Now, why am I marking up the top of these candles and not the base of the candles? Because this is an uptrend. This is an uptrend, right? This is an uptrend, right? And I've seen that these are previous resistance that has been broken and turned to support. You can see. You can see this was the resistance here, broke it. I expect the market can come down here anytime I retest. It has not retested. You see, the fact that the market has not retested all these points tells you that it's still going to come back to retest it. The fact that you saw it going up and there has been no retest tells you that it's definitely going to come back and retest it. If it is when there's no volume in the market, when there's volatility, it's late now to be trading. There's volatility in the market. It's very possible this market would have come down here. And of course, there's a little consolidation around here now. You can see. You can see there's a little consolidation around here right now on the 5 minutes. There's a little consolidation around there. You can, if you know how to trade, you can also trade these consolidations. If not to mark up, but to mark up this consolidation, what I have done is to just put it down here. This is the base of the consolidation. This is the eye of the consolidation. For consolidation trading, what I will tell you for consolidation trading is that you can trade both the top and the bottom. But what I do is that if I want to trade consolidation, I trade in the direction of currency strength. Even though there's consolidation right here, does not mean one currency is not stronger than the other currency. So what I will do personally to trade the direction of the currency strength till you lose one trade. Right? Currency strength is telling you if USD is stronger here, I'll keep buying at this point, buying at this point, buying at this point, buying at this point. Well, your indicator would have told you when this is about to happen anyway. And I'll still bring that into Hourglass. I hope we don't take a lot of time on this call. You understand? So, but I will not mark up this point yet. Right? I'll not mark up this, but we can leave the point in. Now, what have you seen? You have seen 5 major entries. Remember this red here. This red line I put here is not an entry point for me personally, at least not yet. Right? It's not an entry point. It's a warning. That's why you see me paint it red. It's a warning sign for me that at this point, it's a warning sign for me that somebody let me type in the chat. Somebody said they can't hear anything. Let me type in the chat what the person needs to do. Leaders, please let me type in the chat what the person needs to do. The person probably did not enable audio. What this red line is telling, remember we picked this red from the daily. What this red is telling me that from this point, I should probably be careful enough on my buys, right? This is another reason why I'll probably wait for this market to drop down here before I buy. But I can assure you this market is going to drop down here at some point, right? Before I buy, right? This red is not an entry point yet. The only thing that will make it an entry point for me personally is that the only time I will take it as an entry point, because of course there's this very strong resistance there, you can see. I mean that the market got there. The only thing that will make it for me an entry point. Now look at, there's a little break here. There's a little break right here, but I won't consider this a break because this line is just to show me a zone. And the zone can be as wide as anything around here, right? So this is not really a break. What I will count as a break is if this market goes really up to this point, then I'll probably count this point as a point of retest for continuation, right? And if I'm a Forex, if I want to trade Forex, I'll probably just take an entry here. If I see a huge break above it, I'll probably just take an entry here for continuation to the upside and put my stop loss probably at this last resistance, at this last support down here, right? Because if it comes all the way down here, that means that it's probably not going to continue up, right? That's one of the advantages of knowing how to mark up, right? I probably just use one stone to keep plenty bets there. Do you understand? If I've made sense to you so far, put some one in the chat. If I've made sense to you so far, put some one in the chat. If what I've said so far makes sense to you, put some one in the chat. Okay. All right. Now, we have marked up our chart. And let me even just say something at this point, right? You know, some of us, we like to look for the difficult way to do things. Sometimes this chart markup sometimes is just a difficult way to do things. You get? But you can just use it as an extra confirmation on your hourglass, right? As an extra confirmation. Now, we know we have entry points right now, right? These are possible entry points for this trade. Now, what do I need to do? I need to go back to my academy, to my hourglass, to my strategy. Hourglass is my own favorite. Hourglass itself, not market trap. This hourglass itself, it's my own favorite. That's why I like to teach it and teach it and teach it and teach it. Because if you are patient, it's a very beautiful software to use. Now, what were we looking at? USDJPY, right? So let's go to USDJPY. So let's go to USDJPY. Wow, look at this. Now, guys, look at what I was telling you just now. Look at the strength of USD 36. Look at JPY 1. Does that not mean this thing should be flying up? But look at it. It still got to this point and rejected. Right? It still got there and rejected. Normally, with this kind of trend, it should be flying. It should be flying. It should be flying. I know you're like, but this thing is giving me his 6 points. Why is it dropping? Why is it dropping? He didn't buy here. But the resistance said it didn't buy. Resistance said it didn't buy. So why is it still? Where is it stronger now? It's because of this daily resistance that is trying to react to. Right? Now, what do? I come to my hourglass and I check out for my confirmations at those entries. Now, the reason why I said we like to do things in difficult way sometimes, well, it's not really difficult way, just to make a good trader, is that you see this, what you can do, you see this automatic, I'm sure some of you might have heard Evan Cabral and Kemfrey talk about the Evan Cabral binary strategy, ECBS. You've heard Kemfrey talks about it. Kemfrey talks about it. Evan Cabral talks about it. Dr. talks about it too. You get. So what you can do. Okay. So why are you not sure? Because I don't know why that is not showing up. So, okay. I think I know why. All right. Okay, so what you have on here, is the same thing as the Evan Cabral binary strategy. What you have marked up here. Now, this has marked automatic support and resistance for you. You can see how beautiful it marked out this consolidation we saw there. You can see how beautiful it marked out. And you see, remember I told you that I will always trade that consolidation in the direction of trend, in the direction of currency strength, right? I know you are this stronger than JPY. So for this consolidation, what I will keep taking is only buys, because I know USD is stronger. The same thing for this little consolidation is trying to form down here. It broke out of that consolidation zone and started consolidating here again. The only thing I will take at this consolidation is buys, right? Now, let me check the chart. Okay. Now, so what do I need? I think at this point, we'll probably go, if you know how to use this hourglass, of course, I think I've done the training on this video. If you know how to use this hourglass, can you put some one in the chat? Okay, no. If you don't know how to use it, put 5 in the chat. If you don't know how to use this hourglass, put 5 in the chat. I'm waiting for the 5. That's why I'm quiet. I'm waiting to see how many 5s we can get. Okay. So I have a training I did on Hourglass before, but I'm going to do it again so that we can blend it all together. That doesn't look like it's a part class. Charting does not have to be difficult. You are the one looking for complicated things. You are not looking for complicated entries. This is charting. It is nothing difficult. You are the one looking for entries that are not existent. You are the one trying to plug in an entry that is not there. Right? I don't looking for an entry that is not there. It doesn't have to be difficult. This is charting. All right. I know there are other people that use trend line that uses now. Okay. At this point, you should say that before you chart, before you know what to chart, you must know the trend of the market. And just like almost every forex trader will say, the trend is your friend. You must know the trend of the market, right? And you must be able to spot which support and resistance are stronger. Now, you can't compare this support and resistance now. This one, right? This 982. You can't compare it to this one. Why did I say so? Because you can see how many times the market hits it before it broke. So this is definitely stronger than this, right? This is definitely stronger than this. This is definitely, so sometimes because it's HFX, you might pick your entries at the wicks of the candle, not the body. At the wick, I like to mark up the wick of the candle. All right, at the wick of the candle. Now, this is the JPY now. Let's go to, we can to take an example on that UJ, but let's continue. All right. So I'm going to go into Hourglass now, then bring it into how it affects our charting. I hope we can be out of here as quickly as we can. All right. 1 hour and a few minutes should be okay. Now, this is Hourglass, right? To the right of your screen is the currency strength. Is the alert panel, not currency strength. Because somebody start asking me, what do I mean? Is the alert panel. Now, on this alert panel, you can see the different currencies there. You can see the different currencies. You can see USD JPY. You can see AUD USD. That's what we call currency pair. That's all. Sorry, guys. I have to check the message. Sorry, guys. Let me send the message out. Sorry. Sorry, guys. I'll be back. Just 1 minute. Okay. Now, this is the alert panel, USD JPY. Because of USD JPY, I stay on USD JPY. Now, that's what we call, I will use currency 1 and currency 2. I will use base currency and the other one. I will just use currency 1 and currency 2. Now, this is USD JPY, right? This is USD JPY. The first currency is what I call currency 1. The second currency is what I call currency 2. So whenever you see currency 1, see this thing you are seeing here, this USD 37 JPY 1. That's what we call the currency strength, right? That's what we call the currency strength, right? So whenever you say currency 1, all right? Whenever you say currency 1, higher than currency 2, that means this number is higher than currency 2. That means currency 1 is stronger. And you should look out for an uptrend, right? You should look out for an uptrend. I'll say that again. When currency, you can write it down. When currency 1 is stronger than currency 2, watch out for an uptrend, right? When currency 2, in this case, USD when currency 2 is stronger than currency 1, look at USD now. You should look out for a downtrend, meaning look out for sales. Again, I'll repeat that. When currency 1 is stronger than currency 2, look out for only buy options. When currency 2 is stronger than currency 1, look out for only sell options. Do you understand that? Does everybody understand that? That's as simple as it is. Now, I don't want to overflog that. We've had several trainings on this. I'm just going to go over it, but I'm still going to go over it as basic as I can. Right? I'm going to go over it as basic as I can. Now, that's what we call the currency strength, and that's all for the alert panel. Now, come to this our main chart here, right? Everything I just did on that trading view, you can equally do it here by just hide indicators. By using this hide drawing indicator, you have a plain chart like this, right? And you can change the time frame here to daily. Just what you did, you can do it here. You can change the time frame here, even to weekly. You can change the time frame, and everything we just did there, we can do it right here, right? Like everything we just did, the same places we just marked up. I'm just used to trading view. That's why I like to use trading view. But it's the same thing, the same tools are what you have here. You know, these are the points we marked up, I believe. These are the points we marked up. This one here, we marked up an I here. These are the same points we marked up, right? And I'll probably mark this point up at this point. And these are just the same point we marked up. Then some other lower one. These are the points we marked up. The same thing we marked up on trading view. You can equally just do it here. All right. After doing that, you can actually bring your indicators back by clicking this. Okay, that's what I do. Yeah, I remember. It takes away my drawings when I do that. That's why personally, I don't like to use it. It takes away my drawings. Okay, I think you can lock. Yes, I can actually lock those drawings. Okay, brought it back. I think I can actually lock. Okay, you can click on this padlock button to lock in the drawings. All right, you can lock it in and bring your chart back. Okay, I think they did something to that. I don't making it show. Okay, you can actually do that and bring it back. You can see. So this has given you entry points in the market. Now, did it almost tally with the automatic support and resistance? Yes, look at it. Look at this one. It almost tallies with this support. Look at this, tallies with all the resistance here. Look at this, tallies with this. Look at this, tallies with this support and resistance down here. Can you see that hourglass makes sense? The automatic support and resistance work. I think people tell me that maybe it doesn't work. It's working. See our markup. Look at how perfectly it tallies with it. Right now, we add entry points. Okay, let me not jump the gun. Now we are done with the alert channel, with the alert panel. Let's come back to our main chart here. Now, there are about 6 indicators on hourglass. There are about 6 indicators on hourglass. Now, for every strategy, what you need is an alignment of indicators for every strategy, particularly for HFX. What makes a trade good or bad is an alignment of these indicators. Now, for hourglass, you need an alignment of at least 4 of those indicators. At least 4 of those, and I'll tell you the major 4 that must align. I'll tell you the major 4 that must align as we go on. Now, if you look at this chart, we have some red lines. You can see some small red lines here, red and green lines actually. You can see some are red, some are green. These red lines they are seeing are resistance in the market. This green line you are seeing are support in the market. Red lines are resistance, green lines are support. Now, as far as this hourglass is concerned, for everywhere you see a green, it means a buy. For everywhere you see a red, it means a sell. So if you see red here, you see anywhere on this chart that you see green and you see red, it means red means sells, green means buy. That's just what it is, right? So what does that tell us? It means that we sell at resistance, which are red, and we buy at support, which are green. Now, remember when we drew that line? When we do that line, I drew up like this. When we do that line, I drew like this. Can you remember? What this tells you that a broken resistance is a future support, right? A broken resistance is a future support. A broken resistance is a future support. How? Because the market moves in wave. So if the market is moving like this, right? Okay, let me use this as an example. Just calm down and relax. These things are not difficult. Just listen now. Thank God this thing is recorded. I can watch it again and again. Look at this market. So I'm going all the way up here, right? Came back down here, broke this place. See, came back down to retest, consolidated around there. Now, the moment it broke this place. This didn't come back for a retest. This didn't come back for a retest. It could have retested around there before it went up. That's how the market moves. That is how the market moves, right? Now, a past support, if you look at that chart to mark up, you can see this candle almost came to our entry. You can see when it broke this our resistance, it almost came to our entry. Was it a good trade or not? Our indicator will tell us when we get to that point, right? Was that a good trade to take or not? Every candle we move doesn't mean you take trade on every candle, right? Now, sorry guys, I'm actually tired. I'm just trying to keep up with this. I'm tired, so I'm just trying to really keep up. So we sell at resistance, we buy at support, right? We sell at the reds, we buy at the greens. That's basically what I'm saying. Now, that's the second thing on Hourglass. Number one, we've talked about currency strength. Number two, we've talked about support and resistance. You might be writing it down. Currency strength tells you which direction to take the trade. Are you looking for a buy or are you looking for a sell? Right? Based on the currency strength. Now, we've talked about support and resistance, our red and our green line. Now, you can see these two things moving here. This one up here, this green down here, this green. I'm talking about all of this green like this, and all of this red lines. Right? Can you see it? Now, this is what we call the Bollinger Band. It is called the Bollinger Band. Right? It is called the Bollinger Band. Remember, I told you green is buy, red is sell. What does that tell you? Whenever price comes to the red Bollinger Band, what does it do? We're expecting a drop. Whenever price comes to the green Bollinger Band, what does it do? We're expecting a buy. It doesn't mean price will come to the Bollinger Band every time before the market buys. Because Bollinger Band is like a rubber band. It keeps price in check. Keeps price in check. The price gets to it and bounces back. But you can see there are times when the market just clings to it. You can see all this point. It just clings to it. This is a clear uptrend. You get the market just clings to it, right? This is an uptrend that is clear. You can see the market just clinging. I didn't draw that one. But you get what I'm trying to say. Look at the market clinging to the Bollinger Band up here. This shows you when a trend is strong, right? Hourglass is not really determined, it's not really designed for maybe this kind of move. Maybe Mamba. Mamba would have given you plenty entries there, right? Mamba would have given you a lot of entries there. That's why every strategy is different, right? Now, that is all for our Bollinger Band. Then you can see this green line showing down here. Automatically, when this green line is called the EMA, this green line is called the EMA. It's an EMA, exponential moving average. I think it's a 50 EMA or something. We're not here to discuss the value. I don't know the value for it. I think it's just a 50 EMA. Now, it's called the Bollinger. What the Bollinger Band does is that it shows you the trend, overall trend of the market. What does that mean? Whenever you see this Bollinger Band green, it tells you that the market is in an overall uptrend, right? Whenever the market, let's look for a currency that's in a downtrend, maybe CHF. Okay, I don't know why this is not showing. I want to look for a currency that's in a downtrend. Now you can see this is in a downtrend. Why is it going back? Where is it not showing? We can see this is in a downtrend. You can see it is red here. So it changes according to the trend of the market, right? Let me go back to the UG I was using. It changes according to the trend of the market. So that is the, I've talked about many. I think I've talked about currency strength, number one. I've talked about support and resistance, number two. I talked about our Bollinger Band, number three. I talked about our AMA, number four. I've talked about 4 indicators. I remember I told you that every strategy is a combination of indicators. Okay. Now, what have I told you? Let's recap. I've told you that USDJ people are looking at for a buy. Number one, that's the first thing. Whenever you come on Hourglass, that's the first thing you want to check, your currency strength. Your currency strength. If the market has told you it's a buy, then you're looking for price to come to the green line, to any of these greens for you to buy. That's the second confirmation. All right? Well, this EMA, I don't really use it as a confirmation because it's just supposed to show you the trend of the market, in my opinion. It's not supposed to show you the trend of the market. So personally, don't use it as a confirmation per se. It just showed me the trend of the market, right? Now, these last two I'm about to talk about is the most important of is the most important indicators that must align, that must align for in Hourglass before you take the trade. It must align, right? Now, the first one up here is called the stochastic. It's called the stochastic. Now, what does stochastic does? Stochastic shows you when the market is oversold or when the market is oversold or overbought, right? What do I mean? Remember I told you red are for sales, green are for buys. It means whenever price comes to the red line, what are you looking at for? You're looking at for a sell. Whenever price comes to the green line, what are you looking at for? You're looking at for a buy. But remember I told you that every strategy is a combination of indicators. Stochastic. I can type that in the chat. It's called the stochastic. Right? It's called the stochastic. All right, thank you, Yemisi. It's called the stochastic, right? Now, when it comes to a red, it's for a sell. When it comes to a green, it's for a buy. But no single indicator alone tells you when to buy or to sell. It must be an alignment. So that the stochastic came to the red is not the only thing you want to look at. It just shows you. Now, this one below is called the RSI. All right, this one below is called the RSI. What does the RSI do? The RSI shows you the trend of the market. The RSI shows you the trend of the market. Now, what you need to notice, when RSI is above 50, like this, it's above the gray line. Whenever you see RSI above this gray line, like in this space, like this, whenever you see RSI above the gray line, it tells you that the market is in an uptrend. And in an uptrend, what do you look out for? If the market is in an uptrend, guys, what do you look out for? In an uptrend, what do you want to do in an uptrend? I'm waiting for answer. What do you want to do in an uptrend? You want to buy in an uptrend. Yes, you want to buy in an uptrend. You are in an uptrend, you're looking out for buys. All right. So once you see the market in an uptrend, it tells you that you should only take buy. Guys, trust me, this RSI is very, 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 very important. It's very, 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 very important because it shows you the trend of the market. And the reason why I like it in particular is that it shows you where the market is giving a retracement. What do I mean? Look at where the market retraces here. Look at where the market retraces around here. Oh, come on. Look at where the market retraces around there. Even though it's in an uptrend, look at where the market retraces around there. And you see that retracement? What did the RSI do? It came below. See it? It came below the 50, showing you that the market is in a retracement. And you should wait for that retracement to be done. Look at it. This is the first candle I marked up. Right? Look at it. Look at it. Can you see? Does it make sense? That's when the RSI crossed below the 50. Right? So what you do is that when the RSI is above this gray line, right, it shows you the market in an uptrend. When the RSI is below the gray line, it shows you that the market is in a downtrend. Right? It shows you the market is in a downtrend. Now, let me now bring together how you read it. I've told you the indicators. Let me bring together how you read it. So when you come, no, just the gray line, forget whether it's 50 or not, just the gray line. It's the 50 mark. It's the 50 mark. That's why I'm calling it 50. The gray line is what I mean. The gray line is what I'm calling the 50. 50 as in number 50. You can see the 50. If you put it on here, it's at the 50. That's what I mean. Don't complicate it. The gray line is there automatically. Right? So whenever you see this EMA, this RSI above the 50 EMA is a buy. Below the 50 EMA is a sell. Now, how do I now read all these things? I just came to my Hourglass. What's the first thing I want to check? The first thing you want to check is your currency strength. Euro stronger than USD, stronger than JPY. Is this live? Is this showing 11 minutes ago? Let's refresh it. Let's refresh it and see. Let us see the now USD stronger than JPY, right? USD stronger than JPY. USD stronger than JPY. That's the first thing I want to look. And what did I tell you? When currency 1 is stronger than currency 2, what are you looking out for? Let's talk, guys. Let's talk. Let's discuss. When currency 1 is stronger than currency 2, what are we looking out for? Buys. Yes, buys. So whenever you come to your hourglass, the first thing you want to check is the currency strength. Now, I like to say that look for currency strength that are far apart. Look for currency strength that are far, 34 and 1. That's a good one, right? 47 and 37, I probably will not trade it. Just my opinion. 64 and 34, I will trade that. You get 70 and 37, I will trade that. 47 and 3, I will trade that, right? Now, this is USD JPY. I already know we are looking at for a buy, right? That's my first confirmation that we're looking at for a buy. Now, what do I wait for? The first thing I look at personally is that I come and look at my RSI. Is my RSI in position for a buy? Right now, is this RSI in position for a buy, guys? Right now, this RSI, is it in position for a buy? Guys, look at that RSI. Is it in position for a buy? I don't know if this is recent. Okay. Is this RSI in position for a buy? If you think it's no, type your no there. If you think it's no, type your no. Don't say yes because everybody is saying. If you say no, you are wrong. If you say yes, you are right. RSI is a position for a buy because it is above the gray line. Personally, I like to see it far above. You get. I don't like it to be around the 60 because 60 sometimes might just be 60 sometimes indicates sometimes when the market want to retrace. This is just a bit advanced. Normally when the market want to retrace, it traces when the RSI is at the 60. Really, that's where retracement happens. Right? Now, about RSI is above the 50. This is in a position for a buy. Right? Our RSI is in position for a buy. You can see our RSI. That means it's in position for a buy. Now, I've got two confirmations. Right? I've got two confirmations. Currency strength is stronger, number one. RSI is in position, number two. Now, what do I need to do? These are your chart markups comes in. You have marked up your chart, right? You know, these are the points you want to enter the market, right? These are the points you want to enter. Okay, let's just use this one for the chart markup so that we don't complicate it, right? These are the points. These are the points you want to enter. We want to remark that so that you already know there's a resistance here, right? You know there's a support down here, forming down here right now. The support has formed, so we can take it as a support. You know there's a resistance up here, right? You know there's a support, a good support down here. Now, these are the 4 entry points I personally have in this market right now. All right, these are the 4 entry points I have in this market right now, right? So I'll bring that back. Okay, these are the 4 entry points I have in this market right now, right? Now, what do I wait for? USDJPY has told me it's for a buy, right? RSI has told me it's in a good position for a buy, right? Now, what do I need? We need our stochastic now. We need price. We need price to first come. We need price to come to our entry. This is our entry point, right? This is our first entry point, right? Okay, let me do it like this. This entry point is possible entry point 1, possible entry point 1, possible entry point, based on our markup, possible entry point 2, possible entry point 3, possible entry point 4. Right? Now, what do I need? Stochastic is in place. Stochastic is in place. RSI is in place. Wow, what now makes this my entry correct is that a currency strength has confirmed for me. RSI has confirmed for me is that I need this market. If this market comes down to this entry, right? At this entry, what am I looking at for? What makes me confirm this entry is good? It means that my RSI must come below, keyword, guys, keyword below. I like it to be below. I think the last thing I did, I said it should touch, but I realized that it should actually be below. It should actually be below, not touch. Gosh, I don't want that to scatter what I was saying. It should actually be below. What I realized is that it should actually, sorry, okay, I think I'm doing a lot of things. What I realized is that RSI should actually come below like this. Look at all these points. Right? Can you see the moment the market came below, it went back up? Can you see? Look at all these points. Not when it touched, when it came below. Can you see? When it came below, right? When it came below, oof, this is going to remove all my drawing. This is already rough. I guess I don't have a choice. Okay. So what you've marked our entry points, right? Now, what we need is for, at those entry points we have, I want to try and put it back. You can see the ease with which I'm picking those entries because I'm not trying to complicate it, just the basic entry points. I'm not trying to complicate it. Now, at this point right now, even if price comes to a green, to this green, this is a green line right here, right? This is a support. Even if price comes to this green, if my RSI has not confirmed, you see this RSI and stochastic, they're very important if you're using this strategy. You get, my RSI must be below the green, and stochastic must be above the 50, right? Above the gray line before you enter the trade. Now, you have your entry points. You have your entry point. What do I do? If price comes back here and I see my stochastic below, this gives me that this entry is valid. So what do? I wait for it to come there and I take my entry for an uptrend. If the market comes down here, and my RSI is not yet below. I have to delete that. If the market comes to this entry and I've not seen my RSI here below the green yet, what do? It automatically tells me that the market has tendencies of coming to this lower entry. Does that make sense, guys? Tell me that the market has tendency of coming, if at this lower entry is not yet below, it tells me that RSI is coming to this point. This is my entry, right? I can tell you that. Now, this is where being careful comes in. I can tell you that if this move is to come all the way down here, right, currency trade would have changed, and our stochastic would have been down here, which means that trade is no longer valid for a call until stochastic comes back up here. So I can just tell you that with what I know is that one of these two entries, how did you see the market break a lot of entries like this if it's not news, right? I can tell you that one of these two entries will definitely align for USDJPY. You can take the markup on your chart and see. If it comes to this entry, you get, and it aligns, my stochastic, my RSI comes below, my RSI comes down here, below the green, below, not just touch, below the green. I like to take entries while it is below. That's just me. While it is below. I like to take entries while it is below. While I see this deep retracement below, and RSI is still up, and stochastic is still above, I just take the entries. I take the market at my entry. Do you understand that? I take the market at my entry, at my markup. It's as simple as that. Now let's look at, I wish I can, this is not the type of chart that I can rewind. I wish I can rewind. Let's look at this. Let's see whether we got any alignment, right? I wish we can rewind this, that we can, so that it don't be like, Coach Femi, you can see that it has already happened, that's why you are taking it. But sadly, I cannot rewind. Now, look at it. As at when this market was here, right? As at when this market was here. Okay, let me do something. Let's assume the market has not passed Let's assume the market has not passed this point, right? Let's assume all of this has not happened. All of that here has not happened. The market is here. And I can see this market is in an uptrend. Where would I have marked up here? Where would I have marked up this point, this entry, right? Because of this support, now I'll mark it up at the week actually. I'll mark it up at the week. You can, because this is the last week, you can place it on this week. This week right here, right? What I will do again is, because of this market movement, this is the consolidation right here. This is the base of the consolidation. This is the base of the consolidation. So I will mark up that page. Remember, all of this has not happened, right? Remember, all of this has not happened, right? So what will give me my entry? Even though I see the market going up like this, I will only take entries down here. Come here, I'm going to bring that back. I will only take entries down here. Now, what do I do? Now, let's look at it. As at this point, as at all of these points, right? You can see the market was above. In fact, all of here, RSI was above. What does that tell us? It tells us that the market is in an uptrend, right? All of that tells us the market is in an uptrend. That's why we keep taking only buys. I will not take sales. Even though the market is in a consolidation, I will not take sales. You get? I will not take sales. And I will not try and say, now, this is where some people make mistake. Somebody might have just said, okay, there was a little consolidation. Okay, the market broke here. Okay, this is an entry, right? This is an entry. No. Remember what I just told you. All of this has not happened, right? All of this has not happened. As at what we are looking at. Now, I'll keep taking these buys. Why? Because look at every time the market came here, every time the market came here, every time the market came to this entry, where was the, oh, Jim, you have to carry your assignment. Every time the market came down here, what did it do? What did it do? Look at it. This was the first time it came, this was, okay, let me take within that point. This was the first time it came below. Did we clear the trade or not? Did we clear the trade or not? This was the candle. This was the candle. The moment it touched our entry, all right, we can see the confirmations here. Even if you want to take it on the, okay, let's assume is the next one. Is this one that touched? This one to touch anyway, but I've taken your entry here. And take a second entry here again, right? The moment it came out, what did it do? It touched it and the market moved away. All right, where was our next? Throughout all of this, you see why you should not try and choke yourself with entries. Don't say because it broke here now, because the market, this consolidation is still there. And because it's broke here now, you're now going to put a markup here. When the market came there, did it respect? No, it has not respected because it has to come below. Yes, baby. Bring it, let me see. Sorry, guys, 1 minute, please. It's already late. Bring it, let me see. Let me see, baby. Bring it, lift it up. Sorry, guys, just give me 1 minute. Sorry, guys, just give me 1 minute, please. I need to mute for a minute. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I'm back. I had to mute for a moment. I wanted to discuss something. So you can see the moment the RSI came below again, I will say about our stochastic above. What happened again? Did we clear that trade or not? This is the point. This is the point where it came down. Came down to our entry. Remember, this is our entry as at that point. Came down to our entry. Can you see? Came down to our entry. And what did it do again? Boom, another clear. Right? Another clear. Now, remember I said this has not happened. Now, let's assume the market now broke at this point. You can see, yes, baby. Now, look at it. This is the point where our consolidation broke. This is the point where this candle is what broke our consolidation. Now, that now makes this point a valid entry point. Right? A valid entry point. Now, the market did not retrace all the way back here. Right? Does that mean I don't take any trade? No. What I just wait for is further confirmation. Hourglass has already drawn showed you that there's a minor support right here. Right? So what do? I let the market do its thing. Look at it. Oh, I have to clear that. Sorry, let me just remove all of this so that it doesn't get confusing. Now look at all this move up here. Look at all this move up here, right? Did you see stochastic come below, RSI rather, come below at any point? All of this. At all of this move up. This is why you have to find a strategy and stick by it. Now, this is where the JPY, Hourglass is not built for this. Of course, by the time you start to use it better, you will know that you can actually get entries in here. You can actually get entries in here. For example, how would I have gotten an entry? Let me show you how I would have gotten an entry. I know that this was a last support, right? Look at this little wick here. Right? In fact, I think we marked up this one when we were marking up just now. Look at this little wicks in here. This would have been a possible support for me. All right, because the trend is strong. At the moment this candle closed up, came up here, and probably came to the test on this week, is where I will enter. But that's now a confirmation. I've chosen to have even said that. Now look at it. With all of this, we didn't see RSI come below again. All right, so what are we waiting for? We didn't see stochastic come below. RSI is all the way above here. Right, so what are we waiting for? We're waiting for our next zone. What we would have done is mark up this point. All of this is now useless. All this lower point is not useless because market have left that zone. All right, it's mark this point, then wait for it. Where was the next place it aligned? Somebody saying, does that mean I don't take trade all the way around there? Yeah, that's what patience. You don't, as far as this strategy is concerned, you don't take trades all the way down. That's why sometimes it's good to learn multiple strategy. On this trend now, if you know how to use the Mamba, you probably would have seen a lot of entries on this, all of these are the entries on Mamba. That's the advantage of, that's why you cannot combine two different strategies. All of this, just imagine all of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You'd have gotten 7 entries here based on Hourglass. Or you'd have gotten 0 entries here based on Hourglass. But Mamba would have given you probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 7 entries again. You see why? So there's no strategy that is better than the other. You just have to be calm for the one you are using to work. Now, at this point, what now happened? We waited for our confirmation to start to show up again. When did our confirmation show? Our confirmation showed up when the market came back to this level, right? Look at it right here. Look at it. RSI came below again. Stochastic is still above. For the fact that RSI came below right here, shows us that, tells us that, let me move this away. You can see, did it align or not? You wait for it. Look at it. The moment this green, this candle came back to a support, what did it do? And we have RSI as confirmation below, stochastic rather below the green, RSI still above the 50. What did it do again? We cleared the trade. Right? Our next confirmation, even if you don't have to trade confirmation, even if you don't have to trade consolidation, we could have done all of it. Our next confirmation came, I believe this candle would have come below. This one that you're seeing up here would have, because the reaction was fast. That's why it didn't show. But let's even leave that. Let's go to the next one. This is the next place. Now, I want to say something at this point, right? Can you guys remember that I told you to mark up your daily chart? Can you guys remember I told you to mark up your daily chart? This is where marking that daily chart comes in. Remember when we mark up our chart that there was a daily resistance here, right? And what did I tell you? I told you that when you get to that daily resistance, you should be expecting the market to retrace. Right? You'll be expecting the market to retrace. Personally, I might not have taken, you can see, I want to believe that at this point, look at how long our candle stayed below there. Right? Look at how long the RSI stayed below here. It didn't give sharp moves like this. Right? It's because as at this point, the market has hit this daily resistance. Right? So I'll wait, and I will just wait it out personally and see what the market will do at that point. Right? And see what the market will do. That's what I would have done. What I would have done at that point. That's why marking up that daily makes sense. This is why it makes sense. You'll be able to shift out the trades that might not go. Right? Because I know it's a daily resistance, I expect it to probably play around there. So I might actually trade this consolidation. I told you, remember, I might actually trade the consolidation in the direction of currency strength. If USD is strong, I'll keep trading this consolidation. See, probably I lose at this point. I would have lost one trade at this point, but imagine how many I would have won now. I would have won 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 trades, then lose 1. 5-1 is not a bad result, right? But because I know this is a daily resistance, when this move start to happen, of course, they are taking 5 trades. In fact, you don't even need more than that number of trades in a day. If you done 5-0 in a day, risking 3% of your account, on that 5-0, you would have made about 10% of that account. On that 5-0, you will make about 8 or 9 or 10% of that account. If you are risking 3%, on this 5-0 you have done here, at this point you should have just left. So this one should have even caught you at all, right? Should have even caught you at all. You even know if this caught you, would have just lost 1 trade. But oh, you wouldn't have even lost. Why wouldn't you have lost? Because look at it, our RSI has invalidated the trade here. Can you see? You wouldn't have taken that trade because our RSI has already invalidated the trade. Can you see the RSI was below? You wouldn't have even lost anyone because checking your RSI would have told you. Now, I want to say something. When you see a pair coming to a point and going back up, coming to a point and going back up, but you notice that at every time it's coming down, every time it's coming down, RSI is coming lower. Even though you are still clearing the trade, RSI is beginning to come lower around here. Tells you that it might break at any point. So once you've taken that number of it, just wait, see what the market will do, right? Give the market the benefit of the doubt. See what the market will do. Look at it. Look at it right now. We have another entry right here. If this trade comes down here, if this pair comes to this point, right? Comes to that point, and what's happening? Okay. Sorry, 1 minute. I want to clear off all of that. If this trade comes to this point, and my stochastic comes below this green, it shows me this is a valid point. But at this point, this might be a very high entry. I really don't think the market will respect it because it's too close. But at the point when the market comes there, I don't think stochastic could be down here yet. So I personally will not be looking at that point yet. The earliest point I want to take this trade is this base back to this lower entry, because that looks like, that's why somebody is saying, but Coach Femi, you can send trade, you send trades for us without checking, because I give you, it doesn't mean there are no entries before that point, but because I view the strategy well, I can almost say, okay, this looks like the point it will respect, right? Now, what will happen is that the market probably come back down here. If it comes back down here, and my RSI is here above, stochastic is below here, and currency strength is still in support. Currency strength is still in support. I will take that trade down here for a call, right? Or if it doesn't align, I know it's coming down here. If one of these two entries, if the market doesn't break above, if the market doesn't break above that daily resistance, if the market breaks above, these points are still valid, but you have to look for higher entries. If the market breaks above, what I'm trying to say is this: if the market breaks above this point right there, right, you know that this automatically becomes an entry point, right? But if this market does not break above, this entry point will still work. Can you see it, guys? This entry point will still work. If this market continues above, you don't wait for it to come back here. You just pick the next zone, right? But you have to be sure that break is a clean break, not like this. Dr. Josh Lee and Bandobo will always tell you that immediate retests like this are not true retests. They will always tell you that they are not true retests. That normal retest happens when the market has moved away like this and it comes back down. That's what we call a clean retest. Not that I just went up one candle. There are trades you can clear like that. But that takes a little bit of you knowing a bit more advanced things. Right? There's some trades you can clear on an immediate retest up, right? But it takes you knowing a bit more, knowing how to use currency strength well and a couple of other things, right? But they will tell you that when you see this, for you to count something as a break, it must really be a break. It must really be a break, a clean break. And not that it just came up a little like this And you're saying, it has broken, it's going to come back down. No. Right? No, that's not how it's done. It must be a clean break. Right? It must be a clean break. Now, I wrote something down there too. I don't want to. Now, when I see the market, if the market comes here, if the market, I want to, this is just personal touches that I'm adding right now. If the market comes to this 353 and it rejects, boom. Personally, I will not take the mid-rate. If you come to this point and it rejects, remember this is a zone. This is not exact. It's a zone to tell me that there's a daily resistance. Because it's a daily, you don't know how high the wick of the daily can go, right? If I see the candle do something like this, right? Do something like this, come to that around that green and starts to pull back. Personally, I don't like taking the first resistance, the first support I see. Like I like taking the next one. Why? Because of this daily pushback, it can retrace lower. These are just personal source that I'm adding right now. Right? I don't like taking the immediate zone like this. Just like what he did here. You can see it came there, it's rejected. I would not have taken this zone. Personally, I would have waited for it to come down here. It didn't come, fine, it's fine. It has shown me another zone right here. Right? That showed me another, even if this candle rejects right now, I will not still take this zone. I'll wait for it to come to this next zone before I take it. Right? So I believe, okay, let me just look if there are questions. Let me check if there are questions in the chat before we. Okay, somebody said RSI or stochastic. RSI, I might have used it interchangeably when I was talking. RSI is the one below. Stochastic is the one above, right? Stochastic is the one that has this red and green line. RSI is the one that has the gray line in between. If you don't get it, just watch this video. I might have used the word interchangeably in the process of talking, right? This is the RSI above. This is the stochastic above. This is the RSI below. If you are confused, I probably heard this for the first time. So no, I cannot unmute, please. You have to type your question in the chat. Yes, I'm mixing it up. Yes, guys, I'm mixing it up. Is there a particular time frame that's best for markup? I believe I've addressed that. What have you been doing here since? What have you been doing? I told you I mark up on the 5 minutes. That's what I do. I've told you. Now, yeah, that's another thing I wanted to say. Sometimes before I take a trade, I like to check if the 15 minutes, if the RSI also aligns on the 15 minutes, right? Sometimes I like to check if my RSI also I like to check if my RSI also aligns on the 15 minutes. Why? Because sometimes the 5 minutes might just be, sometimes the 5 minutes might just be a retracement. You get that the 5 minutes might just be, so if I see the RSI still below the 15 minutes, it gives me a good feeling that this 5 minutes uptrend is good. Sorry, I muted for a moment there. Now, remember what I'm just saying, that I like to check if the 15 minutes also align for my RSI. If I see the 15 minutes above like this, it gives me a good higher confidence to enter the trade, right? Give me a higher confidence to enter the trade. Now, whenever you want to take a trade and you see this RSI trying to come below, just wait for it to make up its mind on what it wants to do. I think that thing is breaking right now. Okay, I think it's trying to break right now. I think it's trying to break, right? I think it's trying to break now. But just like I said, this is not a break yet. That will give us a clean break. If I would take it personally as a break. If you give us a clean break, then that's when I'll take it as a break. I just tell you on the 15 minutes. A clean 15 minutes break. Remember, this is a zone. This kind of line I put that does not mean this is the point it must break exactly. It's a daily zone. If it's a 5-minute chart, we can pick an exact entry. But for the daily, you can't know how high the daily can wick, right? But if it goes really up, I know it has left this zone, right? So that I cannot come back and I take it up. Right? So any questions, guys? Any questions? Drop your questions in the chat. If you have questions, please drop your questions. If you have questions, drop your questions. I'm waiting up for questions. We are done. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be challenging. Right? If you understand, okay, nobody start with questions. So if you understood what I've just said, if you understood everything I've explained, put some 5 in the chat. If you have a question, type your question. If you have a question, just type your question. Don't bother. If you have a question, just type your question in the chat. I will answer it. Right? I think I will stop the recording now. Okay, let's do a bit of question with the recording. Okay, guys, if you have questions, please drop your question in the chat. If this is your first time listening to all of this, my sound like jargons to you, but I can assure you, watch these videos again and again. Guys, trainings are important. Even though I can train, I don't say training and not join. Right? I don't say training and not join. No matter who's in the training, no matter who, even if the person that joined today says there's a training and the person has something to offer me, I will join the training, guys. I will join. You never know enough. If the returns drop to the first residence zone, what's the cost? Moyolo, that question is not clear. If the returns drop to the first resistance zone, I believe you wanted to type. Okay, if the retest drops to the first resistance zone, what's the cost? What's the cost out? You mean if it drops below it? You mean if it drops below it? You mean if it drops below it? You know, I'm waiting for you. Do you mean if it drops below it? I don't know what to mean. If the retest drops to the first resistance zone or drops below the first, is that what you mean? Okay, if it drops below. Now, that's what I just told you. Your indicators are your lifeline. That's why you can't just use markups to enter a trade. For HFX particularly. For FRX, you still have the freedom of time to let it go. You understand? But if it drops below, you know, this thing doesn't just suddenly drops below. It gives you a sign, particularly this RSI. This RSI gives you a sign because it should have been pulling. This RSI cannot just come. It doesn't just come all the way down here. It has given you a sign that it's beginning to close lower. Look at it. Let's use this zone, for example. There's a resistance here, right? There's a resistance here, right? But you can see this market has been buying at this point. The moment this candle started to pull down, what does the RSI tells you? The RSI was pulling down. That tells you to wait. Missing this one trade, you could have gone back at this point. Right? Missing this one trade will not have done you anything. But because you saw the RSI trying to close, that's particularly why I like the Hourglass. Because you saw the RSI trying to close lower, what do? You hold on and see whether it will continue up. Right? Because you've taken a lot of entries already. This one entry will not kill you. Right? That's why you wait. There's nothing that, because market is the market, nothing causes it. That's why your indicators are important. You have to make sure that if your indicators are aligned and it gets to that point, take the trade. The word that could happen is that you lose, is that you lost it. Right? The word that could happen is that you lost it. And if you're taking this trade self, if you're taking that trade self, we don't know how long. You can say there's a week. We are looking at the close of candle, but we don't know how long this candle went up before it closed at this point. In fact, that trade will still have cleared. We don't know how long it went up. If you look at this point, this week right here, this was the point where it aligned. There's a week right here. We don't know how long this candle went up. It might be more than 3 minutes. I take 3 minutes fixed time up. It might just have been 3 minutes for you to clear that trade. Right? Now, the fact that you now saw it coming down again, see the RSI going below, means you wait. You've already cleared this entry. What do? You wait. Don't take it again immediately. Let the RSI go back above. Right? Then you start to take your entries again. Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay, let me see another question. The person said, please still explain that entry point. I've gone over that entry point multiple times. Just rewatch this video. There's no point going over that again. Just rewatch this video.